Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Buckman's Model Mania. This is not a live stream like I usually do, and I do a few just regular videos. This is going to be one of them. And sorry while I adjust the camera. I really wanted to do this one because during my live stream I had a couple of issues with, or I had an issue with one of the aftermarket parts, and I don't want to turn anybody off of model scale modeling. I emailed them and they were really quick to respond. They're in Belgium, I'm in the United States. I emailed them and said, here's my problem, and they actually went out and looked at my video and said, okay, we see what happened. Somehow during their quality control, they usually put a sealant over top of the wires so that the wires won't come out like mine did. And Richard emailed me and he saw that it wasn't there and asked me, he said I had indicated I could solder it myself, I could fix it myself, or he could send me one if I wanted. I told him I'd go ahead and fix it myself. It's here today instead of, being a couple of weeks before I get it because of the mail situation around the world. And so I did that today. He pointed out that there's another spot on there that I could solder the black wire to. Plugged it up. I wired it today. Was very careful. It looks beautiful and it works. And I took some of the 5-minute or 5-second fix that they sent. They send a tube of 5-second fix, which is is one of your UV activated epoxies. So I have now sealed those wires so they will not break off the way they did before. So let me pause here. I'm going to go grab all the stuff, set it up over here, and show you guys that the board now works. I am really, really pleased with the customer service from Magic Scale Modeling, and I love this board. It is a phenomenal board. I've plugged in a little bit more lights, over the time, and you can see in my video as well that lights would go on and off based on the scene that was playing. So for you it's going to be no time at all. For me it's going to be a couple of minutes while I bring over everything from the soldering bench over there. Already plugged it up. I know it works. So I'm going to bring it over, show you that yes indeed it does work again, and I'll show you the repair as well. It was really simple to take it out of the 3D printed holder. That holder is phenomenal. The way they did the board is phenomenal because I am not the world's greatest soldering. I'm not the best at soldering, but the board is set up to where if something like that happens and you do have to fix it, you're not going to fry components because all your components are on the opposite side of where you're soldering, and there are no components right where the power wires come in. So, like I said, give me a second and I will come back with the working board again. Thanks. Okay, so you can see here that I've already got things hooked up to it. I just wanted to, this is the test configuration I set up after I soldered it. And you can see as well, and I'm not going to lift it up very high right now because it's, actually I don't have to lift it up. Let me zoom in on it. You can see that the wires have been resoldered, or a wire was resoldered. The red one was always there. The black one is the one that broke off. Let me double check and make sure that my camera up here is on autofocus. I didn't think about that before I sat down. Yeah, because it actually had the camera had, or the phone had shut off while I was setting up. So let me see if I can get any closer. So you can see, let me find something to point with. You can see that here's where the red wire's always been. The black wire that broke off is right here. Right here, and it shows it on the back side. Right here is another ground point, ties to the same area as this one did. So so Richard told me to go ahead and solder it there, and you can see now where I have put the the 15-second fix over top of it, so these wires are good and solid there. I'm not going to pull hard, don't worry. They're good and solid there, and so they should not break off. So let me back this back out. Actually, that's a little bit further. I want to actually let you see. So, as before, and this came with my X-Wing from DeAgostini that I'm still building. So, when I plug in power, the little light comes up. I've got sound. And I've got both speakers plugged in, and it's actually random what it starts out with, and the lights are working. So really, really impressed with the customer service that they gave me, that they just said, we'll send you one or you can fix it. So let me turn off the board, and I've only got the one hooked up. I do know that this will go out for some of the scenes, so let me turn off the board so you can actually hear me. And I don't know if you noticed the difference between my video from Tuesday and this one. With two speakers, it gets the sound doubles. It's actually pretty cool. And so here's what I'm talking about with the 5-second fix. They send you a tube of this. It's available on their website. I've actually picked it up from Amazon. And what it is this down here is a tube of UV activated resin. I think it's resin. It's a type of glue. And you know, take off the cap. There's another cap here. I'm not going to take that off because I don't want to lose any of the glue. And after you put it on the part, whatever you're gluing, you turn on the little UV light, shine it on there. Says 5 seconds. I probably shined it on there for about 30 seconds, and it's good to go. Like I said, I cannot say enough about the customer service. Based on some of the customer service I've gotten from other places recently, and it's not to do with LEDs. But I can't say enough about the customer service that I got from them. And I also want to point out that if you look at their stuff, like I said, those two wires not having the some sort of sealant on them was an oversight. This is sealed. And everything, I looked through the kit, everything that is in the kit is sealed if it's possible. I haven't taken out any of the SMDs because I don't want to mess with them. They're very small. These are sealed. This is heat shrink. It's really easy to do, but it's going that extra mile that I think is really worthwhile from them. And then I found, as I've moved all the parts into a larger bin for the kit because it came in a pretty small box. But I noticed something when I was moving it, and my hat's off to them, because when they do an SMD, it's in its own little foil package. I've bought SMDs before that there's, it's slightly larger, but the Ziploc has 5 SMDs coiled together, and I've broken SMDs off the wire as I'm taking them out because I'm trying to get them uncoiled from each other. So to Richard and his crew over there at Magic Scale Modeling, I can't say enough. You guys are fantastic. I will be a repeat customer, and I know you're working on other stuff. Right now you don't have much that I have kits for, but I will be a repeat customer when the time comes, because I love your stuff. It is awesome. I highly recommend anybody who does some ship kits. They do a lot of airplane kits. if you do lighting, go over and look and see what they've got, because they are fantastic. They have got a really cool setup. And this is the only one, because it is so extensive, because look at this tub. It is full of stuff. And I didn't go for the baseline. I went for, extra parts on mine. So it's a little pricey, but it's well worth it. I really think so. And the other kits they have they're not pricey at all from my perspective. So let me pause again, and I will switch to another camera, and we'll talk about the internal frames and maybe a little bit more about the stand, because I've built the internal frames. I'm using the stand, and I want to give Andrew a shout out about his stuff as well. Okay, so we on Tuesday we looked at this the stand. I love it. It is awesome. You can see here it's tilted. I could go one more set of 10 degrees and have it further over, but for right now this is all I need. Inside this right now, let me take this off, because the kit itself, styrene by its nature, is flexible. Because you can see it here. This is pretty flexible, and it's the same thickness as the hull, which is why Andrew's kit, he did his kit. If you look, you can see it here. It is not going to flex. Let me go ahead and pull these decks out. And my kit is not complete. I didn't put everything together on it yet, because I've still got things to do. I've got to put my lighting kit down inside. So if you look, it has a bracelet right in the middle here, and every 10 centimeters from the aft. So there are bulkheads. So this is 14 centimeters, so it's bulkhead 14, 24, 34, 44, on up to the very front here, you have bulkhead 44. Sitting on top of here, and I have not attached this yet because I still have work to do inside the boat. Remove these so that I don't accidentally do anything to them. Sitting on top is the additional bracing, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but it firms up everything, because see if you can see this one. You can't really. You can see it here. It does have some flex. In the middle where you don't want any flex, you've got this part that is not going to let these parts get touched at all, and it's going to be holding everything. This is simply a 3-piece part, and you cannot put it together wrong. If you look here, it says bow, and then here in the middle it says bow and stern. Bow goes here, stern goes here. These just plug together, and 4 screws to put it to lock it in together. Inside here, let me see if I can pull this out, because this is really nice. So inside here, the normal kit that he sells. Let me bring the camera over, point the camera down. So the basics kit has, I believe, has this beam that runs the length, and then it has the bulkheads. I bought along with that, because I didn't have Magic Scale modeling light kit yet, and that he's working with them to design a new update, which will be available for a lower price for those of us that already have this, but for a really reasonable price for people who buy both kits. He's working with Magic Scale Modeling to get their light kit in here, because this beam, this structure here at the bottom, is a track to set LEDs on, or not LEDs, but LED tape on. You can see, take a few of these off and shift it to where you can see it. you can see there is, this is just the bare track. And this is the cover. The cover is fantastic, fantastically diffusing. I mean, look at that. Put a one single strip of LEDs, it's going to throw light everywhere because it's got a diamond pattern on the inside. Also, you saw me just unclip it. It comes with the screws to actually attach it to the side the beams here. There's a screw hole on either side. Now there's a screw hole on either side of this. You can see them there. And so, you know, to me, this is well worth it. It's going to strengthen the Titanic. It's also going to keep it, you know, it gives me somewhere to light it if I decide not to use the full length of lighting that came with Magic Seal modeling kit, because the LED tape runs up and back down. Not sure what Andrew's doing for sure, but from what I've seen on his site, it looks like what he's going to do is in this center, he's reworking that to where instead of being a flat track, it's going to be a V-shaped track where it can run up and down, and then somehow like something like this, you know, something like a V shape, so that one set of LEDs will be here, one set of LEDs will be here, and it'll be lighting both sides. So both this and the Magic Sail modeling kit, I think they're both well worth it. They, you know, they're going into my ship, and I'm not going all out. I know that, you know, I'm putting a lot into it, but I know there are people out there that are putting 2 to 3 times as much into their kit. They're putting in furniture and things like that. I don't know if they're using these kits. I highly suggest that anybody who builds the 1-200 Titanic gets either, I recommend, if you can afford it, you get both of them because they're well worth the money. So let me switch back over. So just like I said, just a little short video, quick video, do a little bit of a review on parts that I have. You know, especially I wanted to get the review out for Magic Scale modeling because it happens, you know, it was a live stream. There was nothing I could do to not show that had broken, and I wanted to show that they made me whole. That, you know, they said, go ahead, you're covered if you screw up the board. That was all I wanted because I have the experience to put it back together, and I'm not sure how well it's going to focus, but let me lift it up here and see if it's going to focus. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to focus, but you saw it earlier. It is, the sealant is there. It's going to hold those wires. Once the board is in the kit, it's going to hold those wires longer than I'm alive. So, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying your kit if you're building one. I hope you enjoy my videos, and I will be putting the links to both Magic Scale Modeling and Andrew's Facebook site in the description of this, because Andrew does not have a site per se yet. Andrew does a lot of his stuff off of Facebook. He's backed by Gene Davis, or I don't know if he's backed, but Gene Davis over at what is it? 1-200 scale build tips and tricks only. Gene Davis over there, I believe, is using Andrew's stuff and backs him just like I do. So I'm going to call it a wrap, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, or not. Completely up to you. I appreciate you coming by. I hope I entertain you a little bit and make your life a little bit better during this pandemic. Have a great evening, and since it is Friday night, have a great weekend. Talk to you later.